Welcome to Rip It Up, the Renovations podcast. I'm Jenny.
I'm Kate, and between us we've renovated a lot of houses and it hasn't scared us off.
In fact, we loved it so much that we can't stop talking about it. So in this podcast, we will give you all the tools and info that you need to tackle your own renovation like a pro.
Today we are covering kitchen countertops, so if you are bamboozled by countertops, you can't tell your quartz from your quartzite, or you think marble is just a fancy tile, don't worry, we've got you covered. From the glam of marble to the grit of quartzite and the ease of porcelain, we'll help you pick what is perfect for your kitchen.
Welcome back to the podcast. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Jen.
We're going to dive right in.
Yeah.
Straight in, no kissing. Countertops. Kitchen countertops specifically. We've touched on them. We spoke about kitchens a lot. We will speak about kitchens a lot more, but countertops in particular, because you got ones recently, you've got loads of questions. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I got loads of questions, and to be honest, I had lots. I've nearly had all types of kitchen countertops at this stage, either in my own house or in rentals.
You've never had wood? Have you ever had wood?
No, but I did experience wood in my sister's kitchen. She did like an oiled wood countertop. I mean,
accept it.
They're a bit of maintenance, I suppose. You have to oil them a bit, but like they're a very nice, real material option. You know, that won't break the bank. But you just need to be kind of careful about what you put in it. Like, obviously, it'll stain easily. You have to put like a sealing oil on them every year or whatever. But they can be a really lovely option. You know, really warm kind of
I
colour.
really like them.
Yeah, I think they can be really nice. Just it has to be kind of a hardish wood, like otherwise it'll just warp and be crappy in no time, I think.
You want it, and you want to know what's involved in the upkeep. It's not extensive, but there's something to it.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you do, and you really want it, it's a thumbs up from us.
I had a laminate in my first house, my first kitchen. Obviously didn't have the budget for quartz or marble or anything at that stage. And like, I think my whole kitchen, like appliances and everything was like $6,000. Something like that.
Those were the days.
And I'm like, class, go back to those days. But I just had like one of the laminate melamine countertops, and you know what? They're so good nowadays. Like if you're, you know, on a bit of a budget for your countertops or your kitchen in general, like I think they're a great option. And you know what? If you like the print and you like the pattern of them, they serve a purpose. They can be nice and simple, and they can be good in a very kind of minimal, kind of clean lines kitchen, I think.
You can get them really slim cut now as well. They have some of them are lovely textured, and they feel more sturdy. They feel more solid than they used to. Some of them
don't have a big rounded
anymore.
Top on them. Do you remember they used to have that kind of rounded top, and now they have a kind of a nice square edge, which makes them a bit sharper looking, I think. You just have to be aware of kind of cut edges, because they have that iron on stripping, and if water gets in there, it can damage and swell and stuff like that, and heat. You never put a hot pot or stuff down it. But like, if you're generally careful enough, I think they serve a purpose, you know, and they're a great placeholder. If you're putting in a kitchen, you've no budget left, and you really want quartz, or you really want marble, or you really want whatever. You know, it's a good placeholder. You can always
come back
put in
to
new
it in like 5 or 10 years.
Exactly. Come back to it when you have the budget for it. And like, there's some nice plain ones out there. I think if you're going to go with laminate or something like that, go for the plainer, the better. I think the fake marbles in laminate will look a bit crappy. So just go nice and plain, I think.
Yeah. But they're fairly, like, aside from not maybe being able to put a hot pot down, they're fairly bulletproof. Like, keep water off them. But especially these days, like some of the like mid-range ones in IKEA these days are
pretty good,
excellent. Like, they're really, really good.
I agree. I think they're actually really nice. I'm actually looking at one right now out in our kind of garage garden room, where we had this temporary white island when we were renovating, and like it was our temporary kitchen. But now it's just storage out in our garden room, and the countertop, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just white, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's still perfect, more or less. And that took quite a beating, I would say, during our renovation. So nothing bad to say about laminates. If it suits and the budget's not there for something else, I'd say go for it.
Go for it. No reason not to.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, I think, where different things are important to different people. Like, I loved tiles. I wanted to spend money on tiles. They're just my thing. You really wanted like solid wood floors. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone has different things for everyone. And if you're just not that fussed about kitchen countertops, or you're not like upset, you don't care about having something like real stone or whatever, then absolutely laminate is the right choice for you, and you should do it.
I agree. And then I suppose we're onto the stones, right? So like, I think this requires a little bit of an intro, because I think people don't really fully understand, or most people don't fully understand, because I get this question a lot in one-to-ones if I'm doing kitchen designs for people. And just generally, if I describe like what countertops I got, I've gotten in my own kitchen, people just kind of blank stare at me.
Yeah.
So like it's good to know the different levels or the different, it's not necessarily even levels because some of them are good for certain things, but just from a price point of view. So starting at your kind of quartz countertops are typically made from quartz crystals. They're about 80 to 90% natural quartz crystals, but then they're squished together. Country. Yeah, they're squished together with a bit of a binder or a glue. And that binder or glue is kind of what makes the countertops not totally bomb-proof, and that binder could maybe discolor if it gets too much heat or maybe too much light, depending on where it is. So
or
quartz
if you're like me and you use a lot of turmeric and that can stain the countertop. Like, but people always ask this as well if they get afraid about any type of natural stone. I got advice early on to use Jif. I know it's called Sif now, but it's like Moros. There'll always be Moros.
I will never change.
But Jif, it works perfectly, and a bit of bleach every now and then. It's not going to kill anyone. So just that's what you need to do.
Yeah, and I think you just have to watch stones in general, like quartz included, that you don't get etching, right? Like, because I think, especially some marbles have I think they're made up a lot of calcium or calcium silicate or something like that in them naturally. And that reacts to acidic things like lemons or vinegar or whatever. So if you leave something acidic down there for a while, it can eventually break through that kind of surface and kind of etch it or possibly even stain it as well if there's something to stain it in the mix as well. But it's just a watch out. But I think generally quartz are relatively bomb-proof, like as in they're not as bomb-proof as porcelain, which we'll go through maybe next, but I think quartz are a great option. There's a few different brands, like Concertino group have like silestone, and then there's another Caesarstone one, but that's an Israeli company, so like people might not want to go that route anymore, but there's a few other kind of quartz brands.
And there's Sapienstone, which we were talking about earlier today, if anyone follows Emily English on Instagram for her food or her lovely recipes, but she just got her kitchen done, and I love that. It's another kind of I suppose it is natural in that there's natural material in it, but it's an engineered natural material.
Engineered stone. So like quartz,
that's what I have quartz countertops. They have the Calacatta marble kind of veining through it. But so far so good. Like 5 years on, I am not precious with it at all. Like I have, my draining board is cut into my countertop. I often cook with like turmeric, or I spilled red wine on it, or whatever. Like, and it's perfect. It's absolutely grand.
Yeah. And I think quartz, it's all about like finding a slab you like as well. I've actually spoken to some people who went out to look at, say, quartz, porcelain countertops, and even real marble. And they end up actually falling for the quartz, even though the marble might have been more expensive, because they just really like the look of it. And I think if you find a quartz brand and a type of veining or whatever that you just love, like, go with it. Like, if that suits the style of your kitchen, absolutely go with it. It doesn't have to be marble, or it doesn't have to be porcelain, because I think people are starting to think that porcelains are better than quartz because they're slightly more expensive. But there's pros and cons to each, I think. Do you know? So I think quartz have a great place. Like, they're using a lot of like vanity units as well, because they're not, they're less likely to get watermarks and stuff in bathrooms. So like, I think, they're great. If you can find one you like, I say go for it.
And it very much is down to that personal preference. So we both actually do a lot of radio work with Roisin Lafferty, and her designs are second to none in my book. I just think she's incredible. But she always talks about natural stone being like a gift and being art from the earth, and she's right. But that is a perspective. Like, if you don't think that way, then there's no point in going for like fully natural stone, because it's like flooring again. It's back to kind of a similar thing with the wooden flooring or even the wooden countertops. Natural materials are stunning, and if you love them and if nothing else will do, then you should get them, and you are right to get them. But if you don't, and you don't really care, then there's not much point in going down the maintenance route. Do you know what I mean? Like, if budget doesn't stretch, or if for whatever reason you prefer the look of quartz over marble or something like that, then absolutely go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's almost an opinion thing, as opposed to, it's subjective as opposed to objective. You'll never go wrong with natural materials. If you're on the fence about anything, it's probably the right move to go for a natural material. But there's nothing wrong with the engineered stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think, look, natural materials are like a neutral in a house. That's another thing they have going for them. Like, if you do love it, it's like something else you don't have to match with something else, because they just never clash, because it's natural, right? So that's a positive about natural. But if it's not something you're drawn to, it's not something you just fall in love with when you see pictures of natural stone, don't. And to your point earlier, like in the nutritionist or her page and her, what was it called again? Sapienstone. Like if you saw that kitchen, you were like, oh my God, I love that stone. I'm getting it. Well, then maybe marble isn't for you because that's actually not a natural stone and it still looks absolutely beautiful. Like, and it look absolutely beautiful to a lot of people, and that's totally cool. And people who are obsessed with Roshi Lafferty might also be obsessed with stone, so they'll spot the difference in that. But if that's not you, like, don't pay for it and don't have that extra maintenance.
Exactly. Then but if it is important to you, then do it, because otherwise you will always notice, you will see it with your eye. And if you are someone who really values natural materials, if you will look at that countertop and think that was formed in the earth and it's a work of art
for millions of years.
And if that's important to you, then, just adjust the budget elsewhere and get it because it will be worth it to you then.
So before we go into porcelain, just like this is a bit like sciencey, but like the quartz part is made of mainly crystals, right? And to get the veining, like you said, like you have a, what did you say, Carrara or Calacatta vein or something like that?
Calacatta marbly vein, yeah.
So like they have the crystals of the different colour and they'll literally kind of lay them out in patterns almost and then bind them in that shape. So they're almost like casting the pattern of the vein. So it's not a natural vein. They're kind of manufacturing the vein, but it's still a natural material. So it still looks natural and you still get the vein.
And the colour is natural. It's not dyed.
Exactly. And then the vein runs down the side of the slab, right? Which is a really, really important point to what I'm going to go on to next. So that's quartz, right? But you do have your binders. That's the drawback. If we move to porcelain, right? Porcelain is not crystals anymore. It's dust. It's stone dust. And all they do is compress the shit out of stone dust to a flat, almost like a tile, like a porcelain tile.
It is.
Essentially.
It's the same method almost as making tiles.
Yeah. But that vein is
very
only
sturdy
on the surface. The vein is printed, essentially. So it's only on the top. So what you'll see then is on slabs of porcelain countertops, you'll have blank edges. Now, some people get over this by kind of mitering two pieces and kind of making it look like the vein is running down the side. That mitering is as expensive as nearly buying the slab. So you kind of have to be comfortable with the blank edges or be doing a waterfall on your countertop on your island or something like that where you're not going to see the edges as much. But it was something, I had porcelain my last run because, we were sold that this is the new material, this is it, it's bomb-proof, it's heat-proof, it's whatever. And look, it looks lovely and I'm sure it's still probably in the house and working fine. I will say, as someone who I do love marble. I'm not saying it's the be all and end all, but I looked at that vein every day and I was like, it's not real. Like, it's not real.
Is that why you sold your house, Kate? Is that why you moved?
I fell out of love with it very fast for me. Like, the countertop is fine and it worked fine, but that vein, it just, I don't know. For me, when I looked at the porcelain ones, they were never as beautiful as real sheets of stone.
Yeah.
And like when you're going to the porcelain level, there are some stones that wouldn't be far off the same price. Like, it's not cheap. Yeah. But I kind of picked the less dramatic veining because the more dramatic veins to me just looked faker, because it was more accentuated that it wasn't real for me personally. But in saying that, look, the countertop's bomb-proof, you put hot pots down, whatever. The only thing I used to find scuffed it was like foil or foil trays or anything like that. It would give that grey marks. But again, to your point, Sif, something abrasive, grand, back to perfect.
Yeah. And this is like Sif or a magic sponge, even if you're really going to risk things, they're all mildly abrasive. So you're not taking much off. You're taking a tiny few layers off the top of it. But it helps if the vein does run all the way through it, especially as well if there's a chip anywhere and you want to buff that out. Like I bought this marble sink for my upstairs bathroom and it is real marble. And I got it for a song on Etsy. It was being like sold as like the runt of the litter from this. I don't see them active anymore. They were called Macaron marble on Etsy. But it had a chip in the side of it. But because it's marble, the chip was almost invisible. And I just have it turned around the back and then there's marble repair kits you can get. So now it actually is invisible. But, because it is real, because the vein runs all the way through, the chip doesn't come out and leave this weird white, like chunk in its wake. It like natural materials can take a hit. They can take a chip. They can take a scratch. It looks like, that like a lot of people like that natural patina that develops over time, maybe on hardwood floors or on marble. Like you have a beautiful marble dining table that's going to just get a little bit chipped or get a little bit stained.
Yeah.
So it's all preference. Like there's pros and cons to all of it. Like as you said, your porcelain one, bulletproof, hot pots, like anything. Have a lighted bonfire in that thing. It's probably grand.
Yeah.
And if that's
We're
super
mad for
important
lighting
to you, and you
bonfires.
really
Like
don't,
this is your season, isn't it? Everything is lighting fires and stuff for you. Like Halloween is like, yeah,
I get
it's
sold
time. I'm going to light bonfires every night.
of materials.
For someone who doesn't have an open fire in their house.
I will say I've never once lit a bonfire. So like I don't know why I keep getting sold a pub here, but anyway. So but like you always, as with everything, you weigh up what's important to you. Like if you're thinking budget is important, then go for the laminate. The laminate's perfect. Just look for one that you like the look of, you like the feel of. Is it within your budget? And then don't think about it again. Perfect.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, I really don't want to be dealing with like chips, scratches, any bit of care, and like budget is consideration, absolutely go for the porcelain. If you're not going to care, or you'll find a way to cut like a waterfall, as you said, side along your island or something like that, so that you don't see the edge of it, you don't see that vein doesn't run all the way through, and you won't care about that. That's the right option for you. Do that. If you love natural stone, if you're okay with a bit of upkeep, if you don't mind a chip every now and then or a bit of wear and tear, and you're happy with that because it's worth it to you for the natural stone, then that's the right option for you. So you just weigh it all up. There's pros and cons with all of it.
Yeah, and to the point about like the print on the top of the porcelain, I did a backsplash and a shelf, and remember the shelf only has print on one side. So I had to decide what side to put the print on, the underside or the top side. I was like, which will people see more? And we were like standing back, looking at the wall, being like, will people see that?
Is this the thin little shelf in your old kitchen that went along the top of the backsplash?
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
But like you wouldn't see it, I suppose. And I think we
so
put
where
it
did
on
you
the
put
top. I think we put it on the top because we kind of figured like unless you were quite short, like you'd always kind of see the top, especially coming down from what used to be our dining room down the 2 steps, you'd be coming down from the top and you'd see it there. Like, look, I don't think you'd notice it anyway because it was a mainly white stone. Like, I mean, unless you're really inspecting it, like, and it's shadowed and there was brackets holding it up and everything, but it's just something to kind of consider, I suppose, of porcelains.
Well, it is.
Don't have
this
that natural
brings me to an
veining.
important point, because we mentioned this in a previous episode, I think, on kitchens. But you did something really clever there, which is really worth listening to and take a note on. And that is that when you're ordering your kitchen countertops, you pay by the slab. So when you're measuring out your countertops, it's really helpful to ask the supplier, like, what size is the slab? And then measure out what size your countertops are going to be. And then you should know, or you can just ask, like, how much is going to be left over? Because you can just take that, right? Like you paid for it pretty much. So
they'll usually give you like a map of the slab as well back, because they have to have that for the CNC machine. So they have like dotted red lines over the slab. So it'll see like pieces of Tetris, all the pieces of your countertop and backsplash and whatever on the slab, or slabs if you have 2 slabs. Like a lot of big kitchens would have 2 slabs maybe, but like you'll see like little slivers. What can I do with that? And they might say that might not come out, it might break, we just don't know if it's smaller pieces, but chance it. If there's anything left over, give me a chopping board, give me a shelf for my hall, give me, I would say use up some of those bits. Why not? Like sometimes you could be lucky and you could squeeze a vanity top off it.
You could have a vanity top. That'd be really lucky. But if you've got an unusually shaped kitchen, even like a coaster, or just like a little tray or something. Yeah. Because I love like repeating materials throughout your house is a lovely thing anyway. So worth asking.
Now they might charge you on some of the cuts, but like if you're not giving any detailed edge or anything like that, like I definitely think it's worth asking. Just see if there's anything left over. But look, that's my kind of 2 cents on having had porcelain and what I think. And having a natural marble sink now, what do you, like how much do you love that versus looking at your quartz countertops?
I love that sink. I really love that sink. It's so
now we have to talk about natural stone, because we can't ignore it and we can't say, it's grand, just go for everything else, because let's be honest, in a way, it is the pinnacle in terms of beauty if you're looking at interior design. Like it just is. Yeah. Like you said, and like Roisin says over and over again, it's just a natural material. It's a gift from the earth. There's no 2 pieces that are going to be the same. But you have 2 different kind of, I suppose, levels. I suppose you have marble first, and well, I'm just saying 2 of the most common that we come across, like the soapstone and all that in the US, but we don't use that very often over here. Yeah. But like marbles, like you kind of said, prone to etching, prone to staining, a little bit softer, can react with kind of acidic stuff. So you just have to be careful using pH neutral cleaners, all that. Careful if you're having a curry, you don't let it sit in it, red wine, all that. In saying that, I have a Calacatta marble dining table. I have it for 5 years. I'm not careful. I'm not precious with it. Like, I mean, I don't let like, you know, a stain sit there overnight or whatever, but I mean, it's grand. Like, yes, if I squat down in certain light, I can see, you know, water rings and I can see etching and whatever.
Yeah.
And the mover's actually scratched it in this move back to the house. But besides that, it looks absolutely fine. So people kind of terrify you about how bad marble will get damaged. And I think unless you're someone who wants it glossy and perfect from here until the end of time, it's fine. You live with it. And like you said, that patina is part of the beauty as well.
Yeah, like it's stone. It's hard stone.
Yeah.
It's built to last. So my upstairs sink, I obviously brush my teeth up there like twice a day, and toothpaste is a base. Do you know, it's not acidic, but it has a lower pH, so like it has the ability to damage it, and it's absolutely perfect. It is perfect, pretty much. Obviously, there's a few little scrapes and like whatever, but like that's 5 years on, and it's heaven.
Yeah, and
so I'm with you. I love it.
Popular, I guess, marbles you might have heard the name of, and some of the quartz ones will be named this as well, just as a copy kind of name or whatever, or some of the porcelain and quartz ones. So you have like your Calacatta, you have your Carrara.
That's a fairly, like, if you're really not sure and you don't want anything too bold, too patterny, but you like a little bit of marbling, then Calacatta is just a lovely.
Well, I'd say Carrara is softest, like as in the fleck in the vein is very washed out almost, and then Calacatta is like a tiny bit more defined. But then if you want to go a bit bolder, you might have like Calacatta Violo, which has a bit more dramatic veining and can be pink sometimes. And then there's another one that's really dramatic called Arabescato, like that some people really love if you love like really mad veining. If you want to go totally off the wall and go for your like red marbles and green marbles and, you know, like the world is your oyster, I suppose. If you love stone, just go and fall in love with a slab.
Stunning. Jerry Designs on Instagram, Jerry O'Toole, she did a beautiful, she loves Connemara marble. She did a stunning, some of the bar, I think, in the basement of their house. And these beautiful Connemara marble green countertops.
I'd love to know like what the kind of, I've never even looked at it, like how expensive Connemara marble is versus some of the others.
I'd just rather not know.
Yeah. But like it is, it's really beautiful. Like if you love stone, I would say just go to a few stone places and just fall in love with the slabs, because like, you know, if you love stone, it's not about picking one and going finding that slab somewhere. It's about seeing 10 slabs. So when I picked mine recently, and like, spoiler alert, I went for real stone this time, but I did Quartzite, which is another natural stone, not quartz. Quartzite is the natural version, but it's super hard. It's not as porous as marble. It's so hard that like they broke a load of cutters cutting mine because I bullnosed the edge of mine. So they broke like 5 cutters or something trying to bullnose the edge of my countertop. But Quartzite is it's a bit more robust, I guess, than having marble. You wouldn't have to be as careful with it, and I think it's less dramatic in the veining. It's a bit more kind of uniformed color, I would say. You've seen it. Like, what would you think? It's not overly bold veining, I would say.
No, it's not a big dramatic pattern.
It's more of a crystalline look almost.
It's more of a crystalline, and it's a very soft, repeating, mesmerizing pattern. And the one thing I'll say, there's many pros in the natural stone camp, and I think we're probably both in that camp as an overall preference. But the one thing that can't be replicated across any of the other engineered stones, or at least that I've seen, happy to be proven wrong, is this kind of almost translucent opalescence or something. Not opalescence, it's the wrong word, but just you can
but
see
there is almost, you're kind of right though, there is that opalescence or kind of glassiness and kind of not even a shimmer, but like there is pieces that are glass essentially, like, so it just gives this kind of iridescence or something through it naturally. The way the light
there's a depth to it that isn't possible as far as I know in other engineered stones.
But look, I mean, like you said at the start, it's not for everyone, and if we are talking now and you're like, what are they on about? It's okay. Natural stone's like not for you, and it's not for you to be wasting money on in your budget if you don't love it. Like, I mean, quartz is perfect. Porcelains are great if you want something that's totally bomb-proof. Laminates are great too if you don't have the budget for it right now. You know, you can get one that really matches. But I think natural stone is a kind of statement in itself in a kitchen.
And if you are listening this far and you're thinking, oh God, what they're saying is really singing to something in my heart, then you're right. And you should spend your money on that because it is worth it. And also it'll last forever.
Yeah. Now I went I wasn't sure, finishes are something we didn't really talk about as well. Like typically like countertops would have been polished to a gloss, but more recently I think a honed or kind of a matte finish has become more popular. And I think the matte finish can actually be a bit more forgiving, which I kind of like for etching and stuff like that. And then on the Quartzite that I picked, I actually went for what they call a leather finish. Now I don't know if they do that leather finish in marbles or is it just Quartzite, but it's almost like a 3D leathery effect. So the vein is like you can feel the vein without looking at it.
Yeah.
So like that to me now sings to my heart. Like just touching the countertop and you can feel the vein in it. I just think it's class. I just think it adds so much depth and character and everything to the stone. So it would be hard to convince me to go back now. And like I've had it for a few months now. I haven't even noticed an etch line or a ring or anything on it yet. And I mean, like, we're using our kitchen a lot. We've 2 kids leaving Ribena cups on it all the time and stuff. Like, I do clean it down at night before bed, just make sure there's nothing sitting on it. But like, I'm not quick to clean it up during the day or anything. And it's it's still pretty good. Like, it's still pretty good. So yeah, they're my favorites.
There's 2 we haven't touched on. So I think it's like stone, we're all aligned. Wood, happy to go for it. Laminate, absolutely, if that's what works for you. One is stainless steel. And it's a very strong look. It's a very industrial look. It can be, there's a bit of cleaning involved. Baby oil is your man there. Obviously it can scratch, etc. But if it's a look you love, then there are options out there, and stainless steel could be for you. Did you do it in your outside garden? Do you have steel countertops?
No, we have honed black granite. We actually never spoke about granite.
Oh, granite.
We've
Sorry,
honed black granite. So granite is a natural stone. Again, porous and crystalline kind of structure as opposed to veined. But we've all seen granite countertops. That was like the original natural stone in Ireland anyway, for sure, wasn't it? Everyone had granite countertops if they wanted to
black
splurge.
Granite. Yeah. And I like black granite. It's a strong look. If the rest of your kitchen is black, then I think it can look really good.
Yeah, we did a full outdoor black kitchen and then a honed black granite. All the headstones are granite. That'll show you how tough it is.
That is literally bulletproof. Like, that is very, very bulletproof.
Yeah. It can chip, I think, because it's crystalline. Like, if you drop something really hard in it could chip.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, that's also a great option and not as expensive as real marble and stuff if you like some of those granite.
Yeah.
But stainless steel, I do like the look of stainless steel. Like, I like it in kitchens.
I think it can look cool. It's quite reflective, so just bear that in mind. Sometimes it can just be a bit shiny and weird, but like, if it's a look you've seen and you like, just be aware that it can scratch, be aware that there's a different cleaning method involved, and then go for it and enjoy it.
When I was a teenager, I discovered Boffi kitchens, BOFFI, the Italian brand.
Yeah.
It was like my first love affair with kind of kitchens at all. And it was that real minimal kind of Italian kind of stainless steel countertops, like real industrial kind of kitchens. And I thought, like, well, if I ever win the lotto, I'm just getting a Boffi kitchen. They've just gotten more and more expensive. Like, I remember in interrailing in college, going into a Boffi shop, like with my backpack on, they were kind of looking at me like, you're not buying one of these kitchens. But they used to do stainless steel countertops a lot, and I thought it looked very, very cool. But having worked in Aware a lot of my teen years and having a stainless steel what you call a cash desk and front that I used to have to polish with baby oil all the time, I don't know if I'd have the guts now to make my kitchen countertop.
There's a really cool company I saw at an interior design show in Paris a couple of years ago. They're called Fermob, Fermob. I don't know if they're even available in Ireland, but they did this beautiful kind of powder coated stainless steel in these really cool colours, and they would do the countertops too. I can't speak to the longevity, I can't speak to the upkeep, but they did look really different and really cool. So something to Google for inspiration if there's no other countertops out there that are speaking to you. And the last one that we didn't touch on, that we just have to very briefly mention, is you inherited tiled kitchen countertops.
Oh, stop. They were disgusting. Like, I'm sorry, but like, the grout, everything, like, just, I couldn't wait to get them. Ugh, they were disgusting. Like, I don't know, you want to be very into cleaning and regrouting and everything. There's just so many crevices on that for bacteria to gather and grow and form. Like, I bleached those tiles so much, but I still felt like the kitchen was dirty. No, that was just pre-renovation people. I never put them in. The house had them when I moved in.
I mean, I've seen maybe a brand new kitchen look kind of cool, but yeah, I'm the same. I can't imagine why anybody would take on that level of cleaning for a kitchen. But if it sounds good to you, then
no, yeah, for sure. Well, hopefully that demystified countertops a little bit. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Oh, we'll see you next week actually for the listener question. Talk to you next week. Bye.
If you love this episode, hit subscribe, drop a review and send us your listener questions for our mini episode next week. And we'll be live on stage at the Ideal Home Show this Friday at 12:15, so please come say hi.